Hi everyone, I'm Diana Palm from dianapalm.com, and today I actually wanted to provide a little bit of comfort and advice for those of you who are grieving and going through loss during the coronavirus. It doesn't matter if you have lost a significant other, a family member, a friend, or even a pet. During the coronavirus and the mandated isolation and often quarantine, it becomes more difficult to actually help the surviving loved ones to heal their grief. In this video, I'd like to actually come up with some ideas to help you get through this process and so that you really know that you're not alone, even when it feels like you are. One of the benefits to going to a funeral is being able to say goodbye for the last time to our loved ones. And there's something about seeing our loved ones in a coffin or seeing large pictures of them next to their urn and going through the motion and the ritual of a funeral that actually help us to put closure to that relationship and understand that our loved one really has passed. But when we don't get to go to a funeral, many of you right now are suffering alone and not having this bit of closure. And at the same time, many of you have had loved ones go into the hospital and not come back. And many of my viewers here have had to put their pets down during the coronavirus, and they have not been able to be there to comfort them, hold them, or say goodbye. So there's a whole gap in this process of transition and being able to say goodbye, bring comfort and closure. And this can actually make an impact in how well you're able to adapt moving through the grief process. So I'd like to help you come up with some alternatives in a way that you can more easily come together as a community to help each other when we're grieving and when we're moving through loss, uncertainty, and not having that final goodbye. So right now, funerals are actually being held with very, very small groups of people, primarily just immediate family. And I'm thinking that it would be very helpful for the family to be able to share that with the friends of the loved one who passed. This may be done through a private Facebook group or setting up a memorial page for other people to add and contribute their loving memories of the person that passed. It may be a great idea to have an online photo album so people can send in photos and share stories and fond memories. This actually is not just really beneficial for the family of the loved one who passed, but also it really allows the entire friend family group, the entire community, to participate in part of the experience of honoring the person that lived and being there to acknowledge them in passing. So asking friends and family to contribute to a memorial page or a private Facebook group is a really ideal way to ensure that everyone stays connected in this process and that you can have this time to still honor your loved one who passed. Deciding to have a virtual memorial is a really great idea to do right now during isolation and quarantine. It provides everyone the opportunity to be seen and heard and to be able to share their final goodbyes with their loved one. So if you do decide to do this on Zoom, you would just set it up in advance and send the link to join out to the community, the friends and family of the loved one who passed. And at a specific time, everyone would log on and all be able to be seen through video chat, which gives a much more personal experience than a simple phone call or just an audio. Having everyone's video up on the screen is really helpful, and you'll be able to share really personal memories and special things that you really loved about this person, and you'll be able to get a feel that you really are still in community. So you'll really be able to overcome the isolation of not being able to be there in person and having physical distance. So having it this way with videos on Zoom allows you to still set a specific time where you can invite all the loved ones to participate. So not only can you have the videos, but along the sidebar of Zoom, you can also enable chat. Many other people can pop onto the chat and leave comments and memories and express themselves. And the whole thing can be recorded and shared with other family members. This is a beautiful option to take advantage of during this time of isolation and during all the changes we're going through. And it's a really great way to provide an opportunity for people to still stay connected and really be able to show their final respects and their final goodbyes. Another thing you may want to consider is setting up a Zoom room. There is a free version of Zoom which allows you to stay connected for up to 45 minutes. If you want to stay on longer and be connected with people longer than the initial 45 minutes, there's a paid version that you can get that will basically give you unlimited connection. But for most people, 45 minutes will be a really great amount of time to be able to set something up remotely. In this way, you could actually set up a remote memorial service and allow everyone a certain time to come onto Zoom. You'll see their faces, you'll be able to hear what they say. When you lose somebody that you love or you lose a pet and you're not able to be there, it really complicates grief. Now, complicated grief seems like an oxymoron because all of grief is difficult and we lose people and it's always extremely hard. But not being able to go through the process of being there or saying goodbye really leaves all these raw emotions that can really complicate the grief process even more. For those of you who have lost somebody during the coronavirus pandemic and you were not able to be there physically due to travel or restrictions on letting you in or out of that state or country, I would like to let you know that you can still communicate with your loved one in spirit and they can hear you. This also applies for if you have lost a pet and you literally had to drop them off at the door and just not see them again. They were taken away and you weren't allowed to hold them and comfort them. So all humans and all animals can actually communicate to you in spirit as soon as they pass. And many can actually connect with you very psychically and intuitively before they pass. So it's real important that you're not just projecting your sadness and your grief over not being there in person, but that you're expressing love and that you're sending your love and that you're sending them comfort and you're reassuring them that you're okay. Even if it feels like you're not, telling them that you're going to be okay and reassuring them allows them to move forward in the spirit world without worrying so much about you, and it will actually free you from staying in this more complicated grief state. As a spiritual healer, I'm also aware that humans and animals that have died during this time on some level participated to go at this time in history. And this is a significant time. Perhaps it adds more meaning to their departure. Maybe it highlights different things in life. Maybe they're just a big blessing and a gift for us, so that moving out of this time frame, we really do stay connected with our loved ones and we really do work things out with them when there needs to be an issue resolved, and that we're always living on that cusp of expressing love and forgiving and moving forward with our friends and family. There are many effects of isolation on mental health and social distancing during this pandemic. I encourage you to find creative ways to still stay connected and to make sure that you're not going through this alone, that if you are having some difficulty with your mental state or your emotions, that you do find grief support groups or outreach programs that you can actually get support and build community around you during this transitional time. In the end, we kind of all die alone. It's a personal journey that we all must make. But what makes this transition and departure so meaningful and special is feeling the love that we have surrounding us. And that love doesn't have to be right beside you. The energy and emotion of love connects us with all of our loved ones. So it doesn't matter if you're across town or across the country or even in a different country. The more you express your loving feelings and appreciation for having these people and animals in your life, they will receive it, they will feel your love, and they will able to stay connected with you in spirit. I've already heard from quite a lot of people that have lost family members and pets during the coronavirus, and by staying in a vibration of love and appreciation, even though they're grieving really hard, they're able to invite spirit visits that much quicker. And many of them have literally seen their pets moving around their house. They've felt them snuggling and purring and felt them licking their cheek. Likewise, they've connected with their father who passed or their grandfather, and they've actually had beautiful, meaningful dream visits and reconnections in the spirit world and know that they're okay on the other side. And really, that's what's most important, is that we know that they're okay and that they know that we're okay. So if you do know somebody right now who's suffering through grief alone because we're in isolation, please reach out to them and suggest some ways that you can stay in contact. Of course, it doesn't hurt to send flowers or some other gift. There are many online stores that are still operating and providing deliveries. And what more beautiful way to just say, I'm with you and I love you and I'm thinking about you and you're not going through this alone. If you feel like you really would benefit from a one-on-one private session to help alleviate some of your grief and some of your unfinished business, make sure to contact me at dianapalm.com to set up a private session. And for those of you that are really coming into your purpose and your calling, working with spiritual energies and working as a medium right now, I highly recommend my program, Master Your Mediumship. It's all online, so it's the most ideal program for you to take at this time. You can do it through the comfort of your own home, and it will literally take you through 8 powerful lessons to really finesse your mediumship and gain clarity for providing loving messages. So if that's something that calls to you, make sure you check that out. There's a lot of value in what you can provide to people right now and always. I always want to encourage spiritual entrepreneurs of every kind. There's so much healing that needs to be done on this planet. And I also want to thank you all. I know so many of you are spending time in daily prayer, meditating for the world to be healthy and to have this reset done with grace and ease. And so whatever role you're playing, even if you're just uplifting a neighbor or staying happy for your children's sake or being creative, being that dynamic person in your house that's staying positive and uplifting others, I want to thank you for your part in this, because all of these things and all of these energies, they matter. And this is a very historic time for you to step into your purpose and step into your personal strength and be able to help other people through it. We will all get through this together. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe so you get my new video every single Thursday. Thanks so much for being here, everyone. I'll see you next week.